Most people think they know exactly how old they are. But what if I told you the number on your birthday cake might not be telling the full story? Because two people can be the same age on paper, yet one feels energetic, sharp, and strong, while the other feels tired, inflamed, and older than they should. So the real question is, are you aging by the calendar or by what's happening inside your body? There are two different ways to measure age: your chronological age, which counts the years you've lived, and your biological age, which reflects how old your body truly functions at the cellular level. In this video, we'll explore what truly separates chronological age from biological age, why your body's aging process is more flexible than most people realize, and how everyday lifestyle choices can influence how fast, or how well, you age. Your chronological age moves forward at a steady pace, 1 year at a time. But your body operates on something far more complex. Your biological age reflects how old your cells and tissues behave, how efficiently they repair damage, manage stress, and maintain function. And unlike chronological age, biological age is not fixed. Modern science now suggests that biological age is responsive, adaptable, and deeply influenced by how you live your life. Which raises a powerful question. What if aging isn't just something that happens to us, but something we quietly shape every single day? That question sits at the center of some of the most fascinating discoveries in modern biology, especially research coming from Harvard and other leading institutions that challenges the long-held assumption that aging only moves in one direction. Work in the field of epigenetics suggests that, under the right conditions, cells can partially reverse aspects of their biological age, not in science fiction terms, but in measurable, biological ones. To understand how this is possible, we need to talk about the epigenetic clock, a scientific tool designed to measure biological age by analyzing patterns in DNA methylation. DNA methylation does not change your genetic code. Instead, it acts like a system of switches layered on top of your DNA, determining which genes are turned on, which are turned off, and how cells function, respond to stress, repair damage, and regulate inflammation and metabolism. If your DNA is a massive instruction manual, DNA methylation decides which instructions are read and which remain silent. And as we age, these methylation patterns shift in highly predictable ways. Protective genes may become less active, while harmful pathways become more pronounced, allowing scientists to estimate how old your cells behave biologically, often with remarkable accuracy. In many cases, epigenetic clocks predict health outcomes more reliably than traditional markers such as cholesterol levels, body weight, or blood pressure. And large long-term studies show that people whose epigenetic age is higher than their chronological age face increased risks of chronic disease, reduced physical function, and earlier mortality. In contrast, individuals whose epigenetic age is lower tend to experience longer health span, meaning more years lived in good health. What truly changed the field was the realization that epigenetic age does not simply drift forward on its own, because it responds to environment, illness, stress, and critically, lifestyle. Once scientists understood this, the next question became unavoidable. If lifestyle can accelerate biological aging, can it also slow it down or even reverse it? Research increasingly suggests that the answer is yes, and diet is one of the most powerful signals our genes receive. Studies consistently show that diets rich in whole, plant-based foods such as vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds are associated with healthier DNA methylation patterns, in part because these foods provide antioxidants and polyphenols that protect DNA and support healthy gene expression. In contrast, diets high in ultra-processed foods, refined sugars, and unhealthy fats have been linked to accelerated epigenetic aging. And what's remarkable is how quickly the epigenetic clock can respond to dietary change. In some studies, shifts toward healthier eating patterns led to measurable changes in DNA methylation within just a few months, sometimes even sooner. Exercise exerts a similarly direct effect, because physical activity doesn't just strengthen muscles or improve endurance, it sends molecular signals throughout the body, When muscles contract, they release signaling molecules that influence gene expression in distant tissues, including the immune system and metabolic organs. And both aerobic exercise and resistance training have been shown to modify DNA methylation patterns in genes involved in inflammation, insulin sensitivity, and cellular repair. High-intensity interval training can amplify these signals, but consistency matters more than intensity. While prolonged sedentary behavior is associated with epigenetic changes linked to chronic inflammation and metabolic dysfunction, sleep, often underestimated, also plays a profound role. As poor sleep quality and disrupted circadian rhythms alter methylation patterns in genes responsible for immune regulation, stress response, and tissue repair, and even short-term sleep deprivation can temporarily push epigenetic markers in an unfavorable direction. Stress may be one of the strongest accelerators of biological aging, because chronic psychological stress releases hormones that leave lasting epigenetic marks, particularly on genes related to inflammation and nervous system regulation, which explains why people exposed to long-term stress often show signs of accelerated epigenetic aging. In contrast, stress reduction practices such as mindfulness, breathing exercises, and relaxation techniques are associated with healthier methylation patterns. Social connection also plays a role, as emerging research suggests that loneliness and social isolation are linked to epigenetic changes associated with immune dysfunction and faster biological aging, while strong social bonds appear to buffer stress at the molecular level and protect gene expression over time. Taken together, these findings reveal something profound. The epigenetic clock is not passively ticking in the background. It is listening. It responds to how we eat, how we move, how we sleep, how we manage stress, and how connected we feel to others. Once this became clear, researchers began testing a bold idea by applying lifestyle changes intentionally rather than simply observing them. In intervention studies, participants adopted structured lifestyle changes that included improved nutrition, regular exercise, stress management, and better sleep. And when researchers measured epigenetic age before and after these interventions, the results were striking. Biological age moved backward, not dramatically and not instantly, but measurably. In several trials, participants showed reductions in epigenetic age equivalent to multiple years after just a few months, without experimental drugs or genetic engineering, but through lifestyle alone. Diet played a central role, as shifting toward plant-rich, whole food diets produced favorable changes in methylation patterns linked to inflammation and aging. Exercise reinforced these effects, particularly when regular movement combined strength and aerobic activity to improve markers related to metabolic health and cellular repair. Stress management mattered as well, with mindfulness practices influencing methylation patterns tied to cortisol regulation and immune balance. Sleep mattered too, as improved sleep duration and quality supported healthier epigenetic profiles, reinforcing the idea that recovery is not optional when it comes to aging well. What makes these findings so hopeful is their practicality. Because rewinding biological age does not require perfection, it requires consistency. Small changes sustained over time appear to matter more than extreme interventions, such as eating more whole foods, moving your body most days, protecting sleep, managing stress, and maintaining social connection. These actions don't just change how you feel today, they influence how your genes behave tomorrow. The epigenetic clock reveals a powerful truth. Aging is not solely written into our DNA, but shaped daily by the signals we send through our lifestyle. Understanding this gives us leverage, not to stop aging, but to age better, extend health span, and preserve vitality, resilience, and function for as long as possible. And the most empowering part is this: your biological future is not fixed. It is responsive, and it begins with the choices you make next. If this resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on one small change you could start today that your future self would thank you for. And feel free to share your thoughts or intentions in the comments. Your experience might inspire someone else to take their first step toward healthier aging. And if you want to continue exploring science-backed ways to support longevity and vitality, consider subscribing and joining this growing community. Because understanding your biology is powerful, but using that knowledge together is where real change begins. Stay curious, Stay consistent and stay healthy.